Abair. I'm a saxophonist, singer, and songwriter. I went to Berklee College of Music, got my degree in woodwind performance, and I moved to Los Angeles to be a solo artist, to make my own records. But along the way, I kind of turned out to be a sideman for a lot of artists. I started playing with Bobby Lyle, went on the road with Jonathan Butler, Adam Sandler, Tina Marie, the Backstreet Boys. I put together Mandy Moore's first band, toured with Duran Duran, a lot of different things, and I think that really helped me find who I was as a solo artist. Just playing with those different artists really shaped who I was. It kind of showed me what I had to give as a solo artist. So in 2002, I signed a deal with Verve Records, and I've made 5 solo records since. I've had 10 #1 singles and 5 records in the top 10 for Billboard. And it's been an incredible journey, I've got to say. I'm on the board of governors for the Los Angeles chapter of the Recording Academy. And I think that it's very important to be a community. As a member of the Recording Academy, we're all peers. We're all in this together. And so voting for Grammy Awards, voting for recognition is really important to me, just to have your peers in it together, you know? So I wanted to share a list of 10 things that you might not know, that you don't know, that you should know. Some of these things I learned early on, and they really shaped who I was and who I became. And some of the things I didn't learn till years and years after being in the business, and I figured, if I would have known that earlier, I could have done a few things different, you know? It's just good advice. So #1 is be yourself. Everyone else is taken. What makes you special is the biggest thing in the world. I mean, when I was in college, I had a great professor named Joe Viola at Berklee. And every day I'd go into his office, he would just pummel me with, have you started your own band yet? Have you done it? Do you have your own band yet? And you know, mostly a sax instructor is gonna go in and show you scales and all kinds of stuff. Not him. I mean, he was all about, I want you to be yourself. Because you can, you know, sit there and learn Cannonball Adderley solos all day, you can learn David Sanborn solos, you can try and be John Coltrane, but there's already a Cannonball Adderley, there's already a John Coltrane. I mean, why be them when you can be you? If you have any chance at success, I mean big success, it's gonna be because you are being you, and you have something special that no one else has. And you know, I thought back, all the artists that I was taken with, that I thought were superstars that I looked up to, they were themselves, and they didn't follow anybody. They led by example. People like Miles Davis, he was just constantly morphing and changing. He wasn't trying to be someone else. He wasn't trying to be Louis Armstrong, who he could have been. You know, I look at Rickie Lee Jones. Who was like Rickie Lee Jones? I mean, she almost sounded like a horn player. She just had this melodic kind of thing. James Brown was himself. I mean, lots of people have tried to copy him, but what made him so super famous was that he was the original. He started it, and he had the guts to know who he was and just go out there and be it and inspire us all to want to be as funky as he was. You know, it's pretty interesting if you sit and think, what makes you special? What makes you you? What makes you different than anyone else? You know, why would someone buy tickets to your show instead of your competitor's show or your hero's show? And I think that's a question we all should ask ourselves as artists. It's not about just, I'm going to go out and play my music. You've got to be smart about it. What makes you special? So many bands have, you know, separated themselves and just said, this is who we are. This is why you're going to come see us. You're going to fall in love with us. We don't sound like anyone else. This is our thing. I mean, Kiss, they went out in makeup, huge platform shoes and had things exploding everywhere. Who did that? Jimi Hendrix, the same thing. I mean, he bought an electric amp from Marshall and just set the world on fire. No one was doing that. So I think you have to search yourself, and you really have to pine over who you are, what you have to offer, and then you can start your journey as an artist. Number 2 is don't let them tell you that you can't. Everyone's going to tell you why you can't do something, why it's not prudent, why it's not for you, who you should be, what you should be doing differently. Don't listen to them. There's so many times that people tell you no. They tell you every reason why you shouldn't do something. I came to LA and I started shopping demos, and I go into every label. Here's my music. Please sign me. I'd love to make records. This is my dream. I heard it all. We don't know how to market a girl sax player. We're sorry. There's just not such a thing. I could have taken that and just walked away and said, oh, okay. I didn't. I kept going. Kept going enough for them to say, are you a saxophonist or are you a singer? Because you have to choose. You have to choose. I'm like, no, I don't have to choose. Wait a minute, that's who I am. So, know what you are, go for it. Stick to your guns. Be who you are, and don't let them tell you that you can't. Number 3 is if you have the chance to do anything else other than play music for a living, do it. It sounds dark, it sounds jaded, but it's very, very good advice. And I got that advice. I was at Berklee College of Music at the time, and Phil Woods came in to do a huge clinic. So of course I went. Phil Woods is an icon. And I'm sitting there in the audience, and that's what he said to us. He just said blatantly, if you have the chance, if you have the choice to be an architect, to be a lawyer, to be a doctor, to be a janitor, anything other than be a musician, do it. I just thought, wow, what odd advice. But years later in the business, I realized he said that out of love. He said that because he knew that this is not a glamorous business, but that a lot of people get into it thinking that it's what you see on MTV or it's what you see on TMZ, and it's just all the glamour of being on stage and the rock stardom. It's not. I mean, it's really about sacrifice, and it's about hours spent in the practice room every day. It's about, living in some flea-ridden apartment while your friends are buying 2-story houses in Florida. I'm speaking about myself here. I was in the flea-ridden apartment. While my friends were buying these beautiful houses in Florida, selling insurance and, all this stuff. And I just thought, what am I doing? This is crazy, But I was trying to get my foot in the door of the music business in LA that you just can't walk into. So I think it's good advice to kind of do some soul searching and say, how much do I love what I do? And if you really love it, you've got to just immerse yourself and say, this is what I'm doing. This is what I was here to do. I'm going to go for it.